Thank you for joining us for this Where's the Money tax season special. I'm Nick Sturtevant. Ahead, we're looking at if you owe taxes on any student loan forgiveness this year and a study showing what people are willing to do to not pay taxes again. We'll also take a look at how much people are seeing in tax returns this year. But first, if you haven't filed yet, you may see some changes in the tax process. That's because the IRS says it's using tax dollars to make the filing process easier. Christine Byers talks with the IRS Commissioner about what the agency is doing to streamline the process.
When you hear the term IRS, words like convenience and user-friendly don't exactly come to mind. This year, IRS Commissioner Danny Werfel says the agency is using a new influx of cash to change that.
Taxpayers should see and feel a difference this filing season versus past filing season.
That includes extended weekday and Saturday hours at taxpayer assistance centers.
Often people are working and they can't get to us during the week, and we want to be accessible.
The agency is also going to have pop-up walk-in taxpayer assistance centers.
People and taxpayers that are more than 100 miles from the closest walk-in center, we want to go to where the taxpayers are.
Werfel is also pledging to reduce call wait times and offer a callback option if you feel like you're waiting too long.
I like to say that the era of listening to elevator music on the IRS phone line can be over if you want.
There's going to be changes to irs.gov too.
They'll now, for example, be able to upload all correspondences and notices back to the IRS digitally rather than on paper. Filing electronically and selecting direct deposit is the best way to get your refund fast, typically within 2 weeks.
All right, so tax season also means tax scams. Certified tax filers stress don't use tax preparers who promise higher returns. If it's too good to be true, it usually is. Don't use a tax filer who's not in compliance with the IRS, and don't fall for ads promising free money. Now, if you get a refund earlier than expected, it could also be a scam. Experts say scammers can use information from previous years to file fake returns. After the return goes into the victim's bank account, the scammers would pose as debt collectors for the IRS, claiming the refund was an error and having the victim return the money through a fake website. To avoid the scam, file your taxes as soon as possible before someone else can do it in your name. One organization helping make the tax process easier is Community Link. It is working to help families get the most out of their tax return. WCNC Charlotte's Miles Harris shows us how.
Filing your taxes can be a stressful process. For some, even asking the right questions can be difficult.
How much money I may owe and how much it's going to cost me to get it done. And where I'm going to get it done at.
One hiccup can cause you to lose out on dollars owed, money that some like Eric Platts need.
And a big relief offer me to right now. Times is challenging for everyone.
Community Link is an organization aiming to help several people realize there's money that they can get back.
With a tax refund, it could help so many of the families that we serve to get the essentials that they may need.
Tamika Gunn with Community Link shares that this tax season, the organization is offering free tax help to those that have an annual household income of $64,000 or less.
That could help them get into a new home. A lot of times for those that are looking for rental property, they need that upfront cost. And, a security deposit of $1,200 on top of utility deposits, that refund could be used to get them in that home.
Last year, Community Link prepared over 1,600 tax returns, where the average refund was about $990.
Since we started February 1, we are already over 230 returns.
From now until April, they're looking forward to maintaining their mission of helping tax filers get the most out of their returns.
This is a great service that they are providing, and I'm very thankful.
A reminder, you have until April 15th to file your taxes. I'm Miles Harris, WCNC Charlotte.
And we've been hearing from a lot of you confused over what's taxable and what's not. WCNC Charlotte's Megan Bragg looks into what you need to know if you got some student loan forgiveness.
We got an email from Eric C. He said, as I recall, debt forgiveness is taxable income. Will we receive a 1099 from the federal government for student loan forgiveness? So the question, do you have to pay federal taxes on your student loan forgiveness? Let's verify. Our source is Mark Stieber with the tax prep company Jackson Hewitt Tax Services, the IRS, and the American Rescue Plan. According to the IRS, people will receive a 1099-C form if their credit card debt or loan debt is forgiven, because that is taxable. But when it comes to student loan debt,
student loan debt forgiveness is not taxable from 2018 through 2025 under the American Rescue Plan. So if you got debt forgiven, know that it's not taxable.
However, Stieber says you may still get a 1099-C in the mail.
And you may not even get one, but you usually do because they haven't really changed all the reporting rules at the various entities.
He says to keep it for your records, but if you had any student debt forgiveness last year, it's not taxable under the American Rescue Plan. If you accidentally included it as taxable income on previous tax returns, Stieber says it's not too late to fix that, but you may need the help of a professional.
If you put it on your tax return, or you think you did, or you don't even remember, definitely go talk to a pro, because we can pull up your tax records, we can see what you did, and if you accidentally put it on there, you have 3 years to fix that and pull that off.
So we can verify that no, under the American Rescue Plan, you don't have to pay federal taxes on the value of your student loan forgiveness. However, the state of North Carolina does tax student loan forgiveness as income, so you may need that 1099 for that state return. With your Verify, I'm Megan Bragg.
And unlike North Carolina, student loan forgiveness will not be subject to state taxes in South Carolina. A good reminder that there can be different rules depending on where you live. Well, the IRS expects more than 128 million tax returns to be filed by the April 15th deadline. But with millions already being processed, some are seeing some good news. Refunds so far are coming in about 2% higher than last year. The average refund is about $3,200. Part of that rise in refunds is due to changes the IRS made to counteract inflation. But as WCNC Charlotte's Anna King reports, not everyone is feeling that relief.
This is my first time that I ever been taxed that high.
Tax season could either be the best time of the year.
We've actually never owed money. We've always gotten obviously each year it varies, but I would say we've never owed anything. We've always, granted, we've had 3 kids in 6 years.
Or the worst, depending on how your year looked. But some people who owed this year with no change to their 2023 say they're confused.
I mean, it was at least $2,000. My tax was $3,000. And hey, I don't make that kind of money.
Parents I spoke with say they are seeing numbers they've never seen before. Tax officials say changes to the child tax credit could be a reason for that.
In 2021, the standard child tax credit just for the 1 year went to $3,000. 22 and onwards, it went back to $2,000. So people starting even last year filing, or 22 filing, they lost $1,000 tax credit right there.
He says in addition to that, now apps like Cash App and Venmo are requiring you to file for some in-app transactions. And sometimes those that aren't business related could fall into the pile depending on the size of the transaction. He also says incorrectly filing your W-4 is a mistake some people make and could also be the reason you're left with a big cost in the end.
And that was Anna King reporting. And those folks she talked to are not alone. A recent Wallet Hub study found 72% of Americans think their current tax rate is just too high. South Carolina ranks number 8 for states with lowest tax rates, while North Carolina ranked near the middle at 18. The Wallet Hub study also shows 28% of people say getting audited is their biggest tax day concern. The same amount of people say they're worried they don't make enough money to pay taxes. So what would you do for a tax-free future? Out of the people Wallet Hub surveyed, 56% of people say they will give up social media for a year. 35% say they will move to a new country. And 30% say they will get an IRS tattoo. Some interesting answers for sure. Well, thank you for joining us for this Where's the Money tax season special. I'm Nick Sturtevant. And a reminder, WCNC Charlotte is always asking where's the money because we want to help you get ahead and have more money in your pocket. For more money and saving tips, download the WCNC Charlotte mobile app.